Good evening, and welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Livingston Man, roll that beautiful bean footage.
We all gonna die. We all gonna die. We all gonna die. It's a We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
Are these the droids you're looking for? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
Like
That
super
thing.
annoyed, like the ad I just got. I'm trying to watch it. I got it on the phone so I can chat. Showing me an ad. I run this show, YouTube. Don't fuck me up with more buttons to push. I had a plan.
Be happy with your ad.
Enjoy
Good
the
evening,
advertise.
everybody.
Hope y'all
What's
skipped
going on? Welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Dana, let's prep. We'll thank the Livingston Man, Ghost Lincoln, Scott Trudeau, Jake Creature, Rob K. Good to see you. Love and Life. Those are the big winners right there. Love and Life.
This is the intro.
So
You want me to play it
excited.
again? Southern Tier request.
Do it,
Intro
do it,
again.
do it. Hit
Say-
roll that beautiful beat footage.
We all gonna die. We all gonna die. We all gonna die. It's a We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
There. Yeah. Cut that whole beep, blap, boop,
Take
blap, beep
two.
thing
This
off
one
of
is
it.
the sequel.
Thank you.
Does that
thank
make
you.
this We All Gonna Die Wednesday 84 now? Time travel. You guys see how it works?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. You know, you gotta get a leg up on the competition, Livingston.
They ain't got it like we do.
No. You see that?
Studio may look small, but talking
Yeah.
about power, bro. Horsepower under the hood.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of it. Plenty of processing power here at Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Let's do this. It says now would be a good time to insert an ad.
I was gonna do it to you guys again, and I couldn't
No.
bring
Can you make
myself.
that go away for me? Scorpion Metal, some random dude, Wolfang, Charmaine Montgomery, Kevlar, Jay Creature, Love and Life, Southern Tier Prepper, Wolfang, Dawn E, Kia, Chris C, Ghost Lincoln, Blackfoot Wolf. We said your name, Moonsprouts, Rural 2, I see, Yardbirds, Eric, N1 RV, Johnny Preps, Mr. Zero. Let's see, Prepping with Pugs, good to see you. Shannon Barrett, good evening. Dan H, my favorite masshole. It's my man right there. Joy, welcome. Heaven's Fire, good to see you. How's everybody doing? On this We All Gonna Die Wednesday?
I seen him talking about you got to CGI the cigarettes out the intro. We're like working towards a new intro, understanding it's a little bit outdated. I think Mike's still wearing the same busted ass shirt. But that's sorry.
I think that was the white one.
I think I
wasn't
might
it?
be wearing the same busted ass shirt. So I
No,
don't
well,
even know.
no, you were wearing the Mickwick shirt.
All right.
Yeah.
So speaking of the studio being small and powerful, there is something different.
Yeah. Yes, this is true.
If
This
you
is
have-
true. We are playing a game here this evening on Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. We All Gonna Die Wednesday 83.
There's
And we got zero tolerance. So if you guys figure it out, there is a Livingston Man patch on the line.
If you something is different.
Yeah,
here.
something is different. Yeah.
So we'll let y'all
Something-
stew. You got till the end of the live stream or until
Yeah, when
I
I
see
see it pop up, I will let it be known what is new. But yeah.
it. In the meantime, so I named this.
No, Stray Kitten, it's not great.
When I schedule the live streams, I come up with these titles, and they a lot of times they either are kind of they just rhyme with what number it is. Like we all gonna die Wednesday 82. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? This one was I called it Zero Tolerance because I've been seeing a thing like a trend where, well, people have zero tolerance, and for what is that? Anything that they don't believe or think is cool.
Yeah, if you don't completely and wholeheartedly agree with it, it's like obsolete. It doesn't exist.
Shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
And the people that believe in it should be removed. And I was just thinking, how far does this exactly permeate? There's, of course, we all like different things and we all believe different things. I mean, there's core tenets you agree on and other shit like this.
Absolutely.
And then, but what's become of us where we can't shut the hell up for a minute and just, I don't even let someone that we disagree with like talk. What's the worst that could happen is what they tell you something you didn't know and you change your opinion. And the best that can happen is they say something so fucking stupid you got the best laugh of your life out of it. But probably what I should have named it is more like zero civility.
Okay. So you're not even, people aren't even tolerant of
each other,
other folks' ideas, opinions, anything else. Man, I think it's important that you take in both sides and try to understand somebody else's point of view and where they're coming from. Because we don't all come from the same situations. We don't all come from the same places. We don't all have the same upbringing. But we all have feelings. We all know hurt. We all know love. We all know joy. For the most part, unless you're a sociopath, in which case, screw you. But I mean, we all have feelings, and it's important to consider others' feelings as well. I mean, sometimes you got to be harsh.
I just want to be clear. There is something physical in this room that is different. It's not the camera angle. And it's
yeah.
It's something
I did like Eric's comment.
You are looking at it right now.
Yeah, he said that you are were wearing matching shirts for the first time, and that is. I don't think. No, it's definitely not right.
I usually try not to.
You go way back.
I kind of am too cool for brand names. Like I don't wear this shit out in public. I don't do that. They'd be like, "Are you?" I'd be like, "Oh Jesus Christ." Love and life, you got it. I think it was part of the deal as it was. It had been asked, but my can of Spam will be thrown in. I wanted to wait till the end of the drawing because I wanted to make sure I was able to give away like the freshest one. Newest one that I had.
Rural 2IC says at least one of you is wearing pants. Oh yeah. I liked Moonsprout's comment earlier. She said that the moon is in Aquarius, and I do believe we are in the age of Aquarius, and I am an Aquarius, so that's like a whole lot of Aquarius, man.
I would be correct to correct Rural 2IC. Neither of us actually is wearing pants.
Good times. It's always a good time.
But yeah, so I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, you see it and you probably, okay, let's all let he who is without sin cast the first stone here. No, it's definitely not new here, although I do, actually, I'm saving it for later. I have a different kind of beer, and that's not it either. All right, I'm going to let it go. It's not the cigarette. It's nothing we are consuming. It has nothing to do with the tricks in studio. It's a physical thing. You're looking at it right now. Something is different.
Yeah.
But what do you see? You see it, right? You go everywhere. People in general, I was quick to always blame this on like what I called city people. Fucking city people that come here with their fucking, they don't care and they're callous and inconsiderate and everything else. But now I see it just permeate throughout like society in general.
Everywhere you go, you see this.
Southern Tier Prepper.
Oh, Southern Tier Prepper. Congratulations, STP. You got it. There it is.
You want to see something cool? Look at the inside of those.
Oh, yeah. Livingston Man got himself some new specs.
You can see my eyes through them there for live streaming.
Yeah, how about that?
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. See, she'd been staring at the screen. She said, "What is it?"
Betty Lou, I'll tell you what. Where is it?
There's two of them.
Is it there? Yeah.
That's not
Betty Lou. She
had insider information. And she probably already has one of those. You know what? Betty Lou Towert. Nice try, cheater. Martha Stewart in our freaking little random.
Outlaw Jackson, what's good, my brother? Good to see you this evening.
I'm a filthy pedestrian. I am the pedestrian, Yardbirds,
The
okay?
filthy pedestrian. It's true. It's true.
I might even play y'all a song about it.
About being a filthy pedestrian.
Pedestrian, yeah. I'm walking around. So, yeah. And how does this tie into prepping and survival? Well,
Okay. All right. Bring it all together.
I'll speak from personal example. I made a video of me walking up the road being my typical self, which is both ironic and accurate. I am what I'm doing there is presenting an exaggerated version of myself. It's not exactly all that
exaggerated,
right? But numerous people comment. They said, "You come up to me with that attitude, you ain't getting nothing from me, man. This, that, and the other thing." And I'm just really, anyone who knows me, I would hope knows that I would never just approach people with my Livingston Man persona. But it made me think that your intentions can often be misunderstood, which is what you said. You ain't walked a mile in this person's shoes, or
right.
And if you're looking to misinterpret someone's thoughts or actions, well, it's real easy to do so.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead of actually be like, what did they mean by this? Walk a mile in somebody else's shoes, or at least tell yourself that unless you know that person physically, that you don't know what they're going through today. We all having a bad day. I'm not excusing outrageous, ridiculous behavior, but I'm also wondering why more people don't act like they're not on the internet. See, the world is walking around acting like they're on the internet, even in real life.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter. Everyone's anonymous. I'll never see this person again. What does that social interaction mean to me? Who, gives a proverbial fuck? And how do we get past that to work? Because you want community, you got to have community. And you'll never get it with what I see out there.
No. No. To gather a community takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of
when we have zero tolerance for apparently anything that strays outside of our personal beliefs.
Yeah, you're never if you approach everything with that kind of mindset, you'll never grow a community. Never, ever, ever. You have to approach it with a cool head. You have to look at the basic building blocks of it, and you need good people. And good people come from all walks of life. And that's the best way to grow a community. Not just good people, but good, trustworthy people. People that you trust with your children. You trust around your wife. You trust around your family. Rural 2, I see, did a really good thing about this the other night. It was great, man. It was great. And he's absolutely right. You have to trust these people with everything. We had a great conversation in the live stream about trust and how that takes time to build, but you can kind of feel people out initially. You get a vibe off of somebody. And I really used to love the events, Livingston Man, because folks would stay up late. And then, of course, you're up early as shit in the morning. And that's when you see the real people. That's when I want to come talk to you. I want to come talk to you when you haven't slept all night long, when you're sleep deprived. And now I need you to do me a real big favor. I need you to go gather firewood. You got to get as much firewood as you can. You're going to split all of it. Then I want to talk to you after that and see what kind of person you are then when you're physically exhausted, when you're beaten down. Do you still have a little spring in your step, or are you it's totally beaten? You're the real asshole that you are.
You almost have to attempt to beat it out of people, and it's not because you're trying to be cruel. Because I need to know. Because when you're in an SHTF situation, you're stuck with people.
Oh yeah, big time.
Now
big time.
I'm not speaking about you're stuck in some random situation where you're folks you don't know. What I'm about to say doesn't matter. But if you're stuck in a situation with folks you do know, and you're going to have a better time of it. Whether, of course, we all got the asshole. It's probably me. I know.
Oh, no, it's definitely me.
See? But they're your asshole because you got to know him and you're like, listen, he's a good guy. An asshole. And everybody has that person. But if you don't know that person, you're like, listen, fuck this guy. He's an asshole. And the vibe is different, but all you got to do is get to know somebody. Another thing I realized, and I'm the first one to blame people for who they are. How dare you be who you are?
Ooh, that's rough.
And what I started to think about was that what if people, some of them do, but what if most people who are fucking assholes aren't doing so maliciously? It's that they're ignorant that there is another way to be. It's that they simply don't know. And what landed me on this topic was thinking about how I'm the first one to be all rich people are scum and we should eat them, and they are actually and physically committed to the downfall of all the rest of us. And I was like, not really. Some of them.
South Florida, good to see you.
The rest of them are hopelessly, woefully ignorant and what we call out of touch. And the word I'm going to use here is ignorant. Is that they just don't know. When they say outrageous shit like how much could a banana cost? $20. They mean that. They think that must be what a banana's worth because $20 to them means shit. They didn't say it with malignance, with malice. They said it from a place of complete privilege and ignorance. And how do you educate that attitude out of somebody? What do you do with those people in the movement when they show up?
I think Outlaw said something to the effect. Can you scroll back in the chat? I actually want to highlight Outlaw Jackson's comment right there. Yeah, could you highlight that? Yep, perfect. When something major happens, a lot of things that people see as big issues become irrelevant. I think that pride in some people and that asshole in a true disaster kind of gets nullified, and in some cases can bring out the best qualities in people. It's going to do one of two things: bring out the best or the worst. I don't think there's an in between.
Yardbirds, for once, speaking actual truth, whether he meant to or not.
Yeah.
If everyone you run into every day is an asshole, you're the asshole.
Santiago, what's good, my brother?
Absolutely true, and I agree wholeheartedly. And it starts with you and how you're going to go out and perceive the world, how much tolerance you're going to have. And I get it. Everybody's got tough guy post on Facebook about how they only got so many fucks to give and this and that thing. But are you really that skeleton riding the motorcycle? Are you? Are you? I don't know how many of you are actually the skeleton riding the motorcycle, owning the libs, because I seen you in public not doing that. And that's all of us. You said that you read that people got dual lives on the internet.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing. They say most of Gen Z actually has two different lives that they live. They live their internet life, and then they live their actual life.
Hunter, looking at you. Tough guy. He calls me a tough guy.
Honestly,
because I post my gym videos.
When I turn the camera on, I try to be the exact same person that I am every day. So that way, when I run into people, there's no persona to play. This is me. This is you. There's no persona here. This is just me on film.
I started ragging on motorcycles with skeletons on them, and the chat lit up. Let's see what they got to say. Oh, mad. I'm a man, okay? Yep. Nobody questioned it, but you said it. Listen, I'm not judging you. It's everyone else's. All right?
I don't judge. I don't judge people, man. Everybody's in a different place, So.
Interestingly enough, all right. So my father rode a Harley. I grew up on the back of one. I rode at the passenger, a bitch hitch. Yeah. I sat there because I was a little kid. Harley Davidson riders are insufferable. They're like Marines and vegans. They're gonna tell you, okay? And Harley Davidson riders, I'm a badass. I buck tradition, son. I had a layer down. God bless. As they show up wearing every single piece of Harley Davidson merchandise on a bagger, no less, with a fucking radio blasting fucking with the Pina Colada song. And don't lie, because I live next to a main thoroughfare, and I seen and heard y'all acting gangster about Harley Davidson as he's down the road. If you like Pina, and it goes by the house.
We're gonna get a copyright strike for this.
Stop putting radios in your motorcycles. That shit ain't gangster. Okay, it's called earbuds, bro. Keep your whack ass music to yourself. Unless you're trying to be punk rock. Like, I want to see a badass biker game go by listening to Taylor Swift. If you're doing that, I'm like, hell's yeah, dude. That weak ass like cock rock, classic rock bullshit. Like, nobody, listen, when you bought the bagger, all thoughts of testosterone were out the window. Okay, so nobody's worried about how manly you actually think you look on your 75,000 pound bagger with chrome on it.
So speaking of motorcycles, I personally feel that the enduro bike is the ultimate shit hit the fan vehicle. The enduro bike with the bags on the back and all the shit you can strap to it, the off-road tire, a dirt bike with blinkers, right?
At least it doesn't look like overweight. Like, oh wow, he's really let himself go.
Well, you got a little bit of gasoline stored on the back, enough to get you a little further. Your essentials, your bag on the back.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's the perfect shit hit the fan vehicle.
I always thought that a great in terms of vehicular redundancy.
Bicycle?
That was hard. That hurt. Well, either a bicycle or so you got the tire carrier on the back of the vehicle. So then you put the tire on the top of the vehicle and you strap a dirt bike, lightweight motorcycle to the back.
That's some random dude. No link for the enduro bike. Sorry, man. I just think they're really cool. I think they'd be a great SHTF vehicle.
Sure. A buddy of mine has like a sort of enduro setup, like good for the road, and he can just take a left and go over here if he wants. He loves it. He like lives on the thing. I don't know if he owns a car. Goes into Catskills, does this shit all the time. He's public. His name's Derek Finkel. You should check his shit out.
I follow him.
He climbs ice waterfalls and stuff.
Moonsprouts. That is when the fuel runs out. It's right back to the old horses. Horse and buggy, horse and cart, donkey and cart, anything along those lines, man.
I'm not taking it back. Baggers are not gangsta. Unless you did rhinestoned it or like maybe perhaps encased it in leather. Then it's a work of art. But I know guys like my age like drive a bagger with a radio in it. And I'm like, this ain't it, chief. Don't not
get a car. KP Heathen, what's good, my brother?
Funny joke for all the Harley Davidson riders is the difference between an Electrolux and a Harley Davidson is Harley Davidson carried 2 dirt bags.
Donkeys and Sherpas, says Outlaw Jackson. I'm telling you. That's it. That's the way to go.
I'm allowed to say it. All right. I grew up on the back of a Harley, and I'm allowed to. It's like I am like Mexican. I can talk this shit.
Southern Tier Prepper. So the good news for us here in our local area is we've got a lot of things locally. Farms, both horse, apple, fruit, vegetable farms, dairy farms, cattle ranches. That's
horses. We got some horses.
We live in the breadbasket of the Hudson Valley. That's the one blessing we have here, and I hope that it never gets destroyed because it's the gem of New York as far as I'm concerned.
Black Rock has got its eyes, bro. Them and them solar people.
Oh yeah, the solar people are taking over. It's
in this area.
It's a stain on the Hudson Valley, if you ask me. Honestly.
Grew up riding, bitch.
Southern Tier Prepper. Wait a second here. That one's for Southern
Can I
Tier
remind
Prepper.
the court that I was like 8 years old, or no? You want me to drive the thing? Like, that's why I love you guys, man. So you can take a little shit. I love it.
Sherpas are like alpaca type creatures. Alpacas, Sherpas, llamas, all kind of the same thing.
Bro, you did not just do that.
Sherpas? No. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't know.
And racist.
A sheep?
Ignorant.
Okay. Well, yeah.
A Sherpa is a person.
Oh, okay.
A person. It's a title. It's a job. They carry. When Jackson's always talking about.
I'm being educated now.
He always thought that when Jackson was talking about Sherpas, that he was going to show up with llamas. See, he's laughing. He's laughing. No, they're people.
Sherpas are guides. Okay.
Typically human. Yeah.
All right.
Unless you go to like wish.com, then you get what you get. And in some cases, they're all related. They're like a clan.
I'm getting educated.
The original Sherpas are a clan. Well, a Sherpa is probably a military vehicle.
Jay Creature, absolutely, you should prep cinnamon. Yeah, man. When I tell you what, a true SHTF, and we have to make alcohol, the ciders and distilleries and things in the area.
They already built them all. We can just take them
Well, they're just going to keep producing, and we'll help them produce.
Well,
It's no problem. Just bring them what they need. That's what they need.
I think the weak hipsters that build them will just abandon them.
Some random dude says the new neighbors can Sherpa. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got it. Sherpas are alpacas with STDs. That's mad funny, Jay Creature.
Well, what were you saying about Sherpas? They make the wool from the Sherpa makes great socks. You thought that shit inside the shirt. He thought that. This is what I was saying. See, if you just let somebody talk, you'll either change your position or get a good laugh. You see what happens? He didn't know. And we laughed. Now he does.
Now I'm properly educated on Sherpas.
He thought the fleece was. Oh man, I would have been loved to living in your mind, just truly believing that. Right, truly believing that though, but it wasn't your fault. Oh fuck. No, that thing that he's talking about is that what they call it, a Sherpa? In Grand Theft Auto, it's got a different name. That big stupid thing with the giant tires.
Oh,
the swamp bog fucking thing.
What the hell are they? It is. It's a Sherp. It's a Sherp.
Yeah, in GTA they call it something else.
New neighbor wool. It's someone that carries my shit. Right on, Outlaw. That's all you had to say.
That was an amazing.
I was totally misled. Southern Tier Prepper says, get a still now. Vevor ones are cheap on Amazon. Can be used over wood fires or propane burners. Absolutely purify water with those too. Distill it, right?
Now, I don't remember if we already brought this up, but Kevlar, if he's still in the bathroom, or he might have to go to work. Kevlar had talked about an interesting thing, and I'm sure maybe some of you guys have thought of it, and if you didn't, well, here's some food for thought. Pros and cons, let her rip. But what he said, he's like, you got one of these battery banks, a good one.
Yeah.
Let's say you got 1,000 or more watts in this thing. You got a solar battery bank. Now, what if you were to go ahead and get yourself a reasonably, a rated, is going to work with this setup. Dehumidifier. Yeah. You're now literally making distilled water, or at least condensed water, I think is proper, from the air itself. Thoughts, comments, donations, fuck this, yay, nay. What do you guys think of this? I'd love to hear from the old mutt on this.
Do you want to try it?
I don't have one right in my pocket.
Let's get one.
Let's get one. I'd like to try.
I've got the Jackery. I've got I have a Grail GeoPress. So then it's purified. Don't matter where the water comes from. It's going to do the damn thing.
Right. And now your air conditioner, again, can kind of do the same thing. But again, we're assuming here that what the dehumidifier is doing is pulling literal moisture out of the air and putting it in a bucket. And what do you guys think of this idea? Now, obviously, you're not going industrial here. But you could, I've seen these things. I work places, like I've seen a dehumidifier fill up 2-3 gallons in a day. And of course, filter before use, but let's assume, what do you guys think of the overall idea?
Yeah, is this something that is...
Have we been overlooking this as we've been sucking, fucking mud puddles with life straws and shit, and we could have just been pulling it out of the air? As we go about our business, the machine is solar powered, making water.
Yeah, now, you definitely have to filter it. You definitely have to purify it.
Hunter got bored and started...
all the contaminants.
Hunter got bored and started yawn emojiing, but what does he think of this? He's the water guy.
He's, there's better ways to get water, and probably more of it, with less power consumption.
Well, like Bear Grylls said, time to drink my own piss. Sun's going down, piss drinking time.
Almost got me.
I'll get you yet.
Oh, man. That was close.
Well, so Hunter, all right. So if that's like inhaling car exhaust, which is what I was raised on, look what it does to you. So check your privilege. What if we're filtering later? So the humidifier is simply gathering it. All right, it's our rain barrel, and then we are filtering it and purifying it later. What's this hymn? The live stream sucks. Here's a picture of me at the gym. Okay, Wanda.
Dusty, it does. It takes a lot of energy to distill water, for sure.
This is what Hunter looks like. Hey, Livingston.
At the gym?
Yeah. He sends me these creepy, downward angle, photos like this. Like, so from my perspective, it's as if I'm looking up at him, like as he's like doing push-ups or some shit. I don't know what he's trying to. I don't know if it's a flex or if it's just like he thinks it's.
No, Hunter. I'm not telling people to drink dehumidifier water. I'm just
not
saying
straight. I'm asking: is it a viable alternative? Is it a viable collection option? Collection only.
So
I'm asking you to fucking consider it, not people. His problem is he works for the industry. With dehumidifiers making your water, we don't need Hunter to purify it no more. I see what's going on here.
Yeah,
I remember.
He says no, it's not.
It's
Perfect.
not what. So I can't.
Flushing toilets, maybe. Yeah, well, it definitely can serve a purpose. Perhaps it's not potable water, but you're still, even if it's just from the dehumidifier and you need to extinguish a fire with it, you need to water the garden, you need to put it someplace where you're not concerned about actually consuming that water yourself. I think it's a great idea.
He's got real strong opinions about water purification.
Rural 2IC says it's definitely an option, but those resources could better be used. Perhaps. I think and maybe the amount of energy it's going to take to produce the amount of water, might not be worth the effort.
What if there's no other way?
There's no other way. I mean,
everybody's got a grail, but does everybody have something to dunk it into?
I would hope so.
And is in that regard, what if I make dehumidifier water and put it in my grail?
Devil Dog, your water and your water heaters is a good source. You want to, if the power's still on and you need water, make sure you turn the breaker off to your water heater so those elements in there don't explode. If you have a gas water heater, I am hands off on all that. I have no idea how to turn off your gas water heater.
Hunter, I will shoot the video. All right. I'm like, then tell us your secrets, water boy. Aquaman, whichever one you want to be called. Either one.
Drill a point well, pump that water out. Safer for you.
No, I'm with Hunter on that. I was like, don't drink water heater water.
We could totally do it. I'm
again,
all for it.
The filtration and even what you're gonna do with the water. Let's just put that aside. And is it? I know so many.
Wolfang, drink your pee.
Well, it's piss drinking time. I know so many of you all, and we all have these little, battery banks and solar generators. You want to call them that?
Yeah.
Now, again, just for purely collection purposes, the consensus would seem to be that we don't want to drink it, but it could work. And you're also probably sucking a lot of power. It's essentially an air conditioner that's not cooling the room.
Exactly, it's heating the room.
But here, what if there is no room? Instead, you're bypassing what it's actually supposed to do, and you just sit it outside.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I like it. But Hunter had zero tolerance for that line of question.
Hunter says, "Don't drink the water heater water."
I wouldn't do that.
So, Hunter, I do have a question. If you're drilling a point well, right? A point well is basically an artesian well. Are they kind of the same thing? Maybe an artesian well is spring fed. But if you're drilling a point well, are you still pulling surface water, or is that actual groundwater? Is that something that you still need to boil and sanitize for like E. coli and stuff like that? Boil and add chlorine. There you go.
It's not that simple as he's probably inclined to point out. Don't just keep dumping bleach in your water.
No. There's it's a few eye drops to a gallon, and then it has to sit for a length of time for the chlorine to off-get with the lid off, for it to off-gas before you can actually consume it. It is a process. Don't think you know what you're doing. Know what you're doing. That's the best advice I can give. Don't say, well, I heard this guy say that. Try it.
There's a reason
practice.
Water purification specialists have training and education involved with it, because you keep just dumping without knowing without knowing how much you use, and without knowing how much you have diluted the solution. There's a lot of science here. Don't just go fucking dumping chemicals in your water, of all things. Drink dirty water before you dump too many chemicals in it.
Shannon Jackson, thank you so much. Yeah, guys, please smash that like button if you're here, if you're hanging out with us, if you're having a good time. consider smashing that like button. Really appreciate it.
All the same, I get, I can pull that internet meme shit and be like, I survived like drinking out of the hose. I grew up drinking well water that was straight up unfiltered, minus the shale it settled down through. People will have different issues with water depending on where you live and how it flows and every other thing. There are better ways places to find it. Or more guaranteed to find it. You need to know a little bit about geography and stuff like this, and maybe even geology.
Yeah.
All of which are readily available if for nowhere else than the old Army survival manuals. If you don't have the FM 76 survival manual, unsubscribe right now.
Go get that. Also, if you're in the Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival Facebook group, check the files section. There is a files section where there's a bunch of downloadable PDFs in there with good quality information for you to take and have and keep on your own. It's free 99.
Mr. Zero, that's the one I'm talking about. I have a newer one that a buddy of mine actually got for me somehow. That's not at the time was not declassified yet. I have the 2176 2002 version.
Oh,
it's got color pictures of plants and stuff you can eat.
oh
And
fantastic.
it's much expanded, a really great book, thick. Anything you need to know is kind of in there. There's a way to do everything.
Fantastic. Anne-Marie, definitely, it's not just a filtering process. You have to purify it. Stray Kitten, yes, we have to have Hunter in on either a video or a live. I think another good thing for folks to do would be maybe we should make a well bucket. Show folks how to make a well bucket. If the power is out and you have a well and you need to get water out of that 6-inch casing that's in the ground, how you can make a well bucket at home and lower a rope down and pull yourself up some water. Jay Creature, yeah, kind of like a Dutch bucket, but you make them out of PVC pipe. PVC pipe, a racket ball, and you can do it.
Now, I've seen these.
It's a lot of handwork. Now,
I've seen those
hoist or something, especially one with anti-reverse.
Right now, not what I would have called it, not knowing what you're calling it. I would have called it like a ram pump.
No, this isn't a pump. This is actually a bucket.
Okay,
that you're going to make out of PVC.
Correct.
Okay. Straight down, straight back up. This isn't a Rand pump. That's a total different thing. You're using water hammer to actually move water over great distance.
Yeah, I saw a person doing that.
SRD, you have a great night, brother. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. SRD out.
I know, I digressed. I was trying to keep Hunter occupied. Poor baby. He cries. He cries when he gets bored. He's got ADD.
No, we gotta get the water man on here. Water is one of the most important things. I think the very first thing on your preparedness list should be shelter. Numero uno, shelter above everything else. As soon as you find shelter, if it's pouring rain, pitch that bad boy, catch some water. Now you got number 2 crossed off your list, right? And then you can move on from there, right? Food you're going to go for a while without. It's going to suck, but you're going to survive. And don't forget the number 1 rule of survival. Anybody knows what it is, just type it right there. Number 1 rule of survival.
You've already done it this whole time. Look at you go, prepping.
Little known prepper, great advice. You do want to add some minerals to your water if you're distilling them. Your body's gonna lack those things after a while, and they get you in trouble.
No, I was told once.
That's right, STP, don't die.
I was told once that
there's a fucking missing in the middle. Don't fucking die.
Not when they're energized, but I was told that electronics can actually survive unscathed, being either wetted or submerged in distilled water, as long as they're dry out before they're restarted. Distilled water, allegedly, the story
has no minerals in it,
so it won't oxidize.
Oh, okay. So it's the oxidation that makes the contacts touch and fries the electronics.
Right, gotcha. But since they're the word did you?
Mr. Zero says sometimes in survival we die. Yeah. When you're out practicing, you do something dumb, fall down the cliff.
Yo, one in the chat if you died.
Oh man.
Let's see who hits it. Somebody's going.
Rural 2IC says the number one rule is don't talk about survival. No. That's Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club.
So whether your life's been easy or hard, or whether you think it was one or the other, all of us that are here, we like to think, are still alive and been doing the thing. So you already know what you're doing here. You have what's called experience, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you've been doing is working out because here you are. Whether you're happy or not doesn't matter. You survived.
Yeah.
No,
Living the
brings
life.
me to a thing I noticed before, and I feel like I'll just bring it up again. Is this prepping and survival thing? If you can make it fun, good. You probably should.
Yeah.
Because an actual SHTF situation is not going to be fun. You and everyone you know and love is going to suffer and or die. And it's not going to be cool. Though we can all sit here and joke and make big fucking funny laughs and have conversations about whether we should drink dehumidifier water or not. These will become, it's better we ask these questions and work it out now than be like, should we drink the fucking dehumidifier water when we have nothing else?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's
You know what, 200 is, you know what, I'll drink the bleach like God Trump said. You know what? That's how you cure COVID, right? I'm not listening to your medical disinformation. I should put him on timeout. He's a mod. I can't. He's like, I can't even put him up. Yes, I can. And I should, but I won't. You know why? Leniency. I'm going to pardon you.
Good golly.
Oh, now he's using
Jay Creature
semantics.
has got a 30-foot old well on his property. It's dry, but such cool stonework. Turn it into the Silence of the Lambs Airbnb. It puts the lotion on its skin.
I saw his video of that, and Hunter's right. That's his cistern.
Yep.
I have run across numeroso of those at the place I work. It was the original way to store your rainwater. It was the original rain barrel, and the more money and cool things you had, you built this like weird. It looks like a bullet, like a pistol bullet.
Okay.
It's buried in the ground. It's like this brick cylinder with a dome top.
Okay.
And a specific example is they ran all the gutters from the house
To it.
And how they pumped it back into the house, I don't know.
Okay.
But at any rate, they built a significant structure that took significant labor to store rainwater. It was how it was done back in the day. They didn't turn a tap and municipal came in. It wasn't that.
No, you had to go get water from the well. I imagine that was probably like their gray water, right? That was stuff you'd use for other than drinking.
Essentially, in a lot of the older houses around here, in the historic colonial and manor parks, a lot of those cisterns have been repurposed to be your gray water tank. We don't have municipal sewers here either. So we have septics, leach fields, and gray water tanks.
Yeah.
In the case of my house, even, there's the old cistern that's buried out in the yard. And what they did is routed the washing machine, dishwasher, and
Gray
kitchen
water
sink.
that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of for drinking, it's not. And then the septic stuff, toilets and wastewater goes a different way to a modern system.
Jay Creature says this is a new one, much bigger and deeper than the one I posted before. This is an old school farm well. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Oh, Eric M1RV's got a spring-fed pond at the house. That's awesome, bro. Absolutely fantastic. Really stoked for you guys with your new place down there. It just beautiful, man. You can really homestead there, just gorgeous.
Now I'm wondering, a spring fed, like it's underground spring, it kind of seeps out of the ground, fills it. I'm guessing what he means by that.
I think so.
Because if it has otherwise what you have, Eric, is a lake.
Prepper Book Club, good to see you. Mr. Zero says usually a pipe into the basement. Oh, that's cool.
Possible. A lot of and what they would do is this old stuff was built well. When you find something like what Jay Creature found and stuff, and it's buried underground, so it's been forgotten. But also, it's remarkably well built. You're like, wow. So they were often repurposed because there was just quite
well built.
There's just nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
What can we do with it? Well, you can do this.
Hunter says multiple 5-gallon buckets in lime, gravel, sand, anthracite, small holes, filter any water, then boil it. Hit with chlorine, powder lasts longer, liquid chlorine dissipates. Get a test kit. What So I guess the question is, what kind of test kit should people buy?
Fuck it. Drop the beat.
For-
Have multiple 5-gallon buckets in lime, gravel, sand, anthracite, small holes, filter any water, then boil, then hit with chlorine. Powder lasts longer, liquid chlorine dissipates. Get a test kit.
Jay Creature said the first one was cinder block. This one is cylindrical and made of fieldstone or cobblestone. Very cool.
I'm going to tell you that that's the older one then. The first one, if that's cinder block, that's the newer one.
Yep, for sure.
The old farm wells are cool. I found a handful of those around our property too because it was the only way they could feed the livestock. And I dropped a rock down it. And I don't know how deep this thing is, but what I do know is that somebody went down in that hole and dug it and then did immaculate dry stack stonework where it's like 16 feet deep and still like perfect.
There you go. Hunter says a color wheel for chlorine, cheap and accurate. Very good.
I'm not doing any of it.
Just drink the
Piss drinking all
That's it.
day.
That's it. Let it go.
You're going to die from that. Yeah, what would you prefer I die from?
James Carroll, good to see you. He says they used to build the house around the old hand pitcher pump.
Yep.
Very true.
Hello from Kopek. See, he's from our historic former Livingston Manor era. Things were done to well
to
like,
the standards
to
of
code
the
like kind of the best that they had.
The Livingston's code.
My ancestors. Enough about this silly water filtration geek shit. Zero tolerance for that tonight. Hunter, punch out, bro. We're good. We're done with it.
So I have found, I think it, who was it that asked? Dana Let's Prep says, question, the former owners used chemicals for the weeds. I never did. So an old survey showing a well under my little walkway. Do wells usually dry out? How long would chemicals stay? The chemicals, I can't answer that one. That's something you'd have to find and get it tested, honestly. And I have seen wells dry out, man. A couple years ago, our well actually ran dry at the house. Well, not completely dry, but our recovery rate was so low that it wouldn't produce water over a certain depth. Once the static pressure got so high, we were screwed. We only had water to like 26 feet in our well, and it was recovering at 0.5 gallons a minute. And it would only recover to that like 26-foot mark, and then it would just stop. Over time, because we have hard water here in the Hudson Valley, which is loaded with minerals, right? Over time, those minerals build up in those veins that are bringing the water into the house, and it can totally crust up after years and years and years of that water pumping through that rock, and those minerals build up so much that it closes off the veins in the rock. So we actually had to have them come refracture the entire well. And then we went from that 0.5 gallons a minute to over 5 gallons a minute recovery rate. It's an incredible process. And those guys are really, really good at what they do. So if you ever run into that situation, it can be fixed.
But there is a caveat. To fracking your well is that you can, not necessarily that you will, but you can disrupt how the water actually flows.
Yeah.
I've seen wells fracked and it changes the way stuff grows. It can even change the lay of the land.
Yeah. Crumble some things.
So there are but yes, it's a sound practice that's generally accepted to be how this is done. It back on the water. I see.
Yeah, well, water is life, man. Water is life. You gotta have it. The fracking did us a solid, and it's been great ever since. No issues. Frank Short, you're right. It's definitely, you got to have multiples. If you can afford to have another well drilled, do it.
Or you just get you a humidifier and stop being a baby about it.
Absolutely, man. You gotta.
If you knew the shit that I drank in my life, believe me, humidifier water is the least of everyone's problems, dude.
Kevlar says, I get my water from the monster.
He squeezes them. There's also all these sort of passive inline filter systems you can get from Amazon and whatnot, where if you can somehow pressurize your water supply, you can
Reverse
open a tap.
osmosis.
I wouldn't recommend reverse osmosis. Its recovery rate is so slow.
If you get to the right pressure, certain smaller RO systems, I think they only require like 30 psi to actually run. So it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you're getting, I don't know, you're getting a cup of water an hour from the system. I argue that your humidifier could at least do the same.
That's all good, Frank. No worries, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. Appreciate it, brother. Ed took his down to 380 feet. That's pretty good. I think mine is 260. Prepper Book Club, yeah. Yeah, I got a couple diverters for the downspouts on the gutter and 55-gallon drums. You know, it gets pretty dry. We get our dry season in June, July, late July. And everything burns up, you know. So I try to collect a little bit of water for them. The mosquito rings are super important. Can't keep those bastards out of there. So make sure you have some of those to throw in your water to kill all those larvae.
Another thing to consider is you have to. What your well is just a big pipe jammed into the ground. And
Yeah.
who said it? There in Ed Benoit's case, 380 feet. They just
Straight
keep
down.
pushing,
Yeah.
jamming a pipe in. And what this does now, this pipe, which is what 8
Well,
inches,
casing is only sometimes a few feet down.
right? And what it relies on is the don't lose me. Don't let me lose you. Isostatic pressure, literally the weight of the ground pushing down on
Yeah,
the
to
water
make the
table
water
below it
to come up.
to push it up to a certain level. The deeper your well, the more guaranteed you are to have water
Mhm.
fill it. And then there's a pump that they shimmy down that pipe
Oh yeah.
and it brings it up and out. This thing relies on electricity to run. And
Big
like
time.
Mike's out and everybody's Dutch bucket there is a way around it. You have this deep pipe in your ground and you can suck water out of it, but you need a means to do so. It doesn't come with that. So you either need to power your well pump or you need a way to get water to come out of that pipe or
Yeah.
high water.
That's that well bucket, bro. I think we should build one. PVC pipe. We'll get the plans. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Not doing it to my well, but
No.
we'll find one somewhere. I know where there's one.
I know where there's a couple. They're dry though. Well, at least last time I checked them, they were dry.
Just frack them.
They're not very deep.
All right, so humidifier water was taboo, but fucking pool water is cool. Yeah, only my balls were in it. Sorry, my ass and balls weren't in the dehumidifier. Am I wrong? No. So go ahead about your
Good
pool water, you
God.
degenerate son of a bitch. Christ, this guy's a monster. I'm gonna put him on timeout. He's gone too far. I should just remove him in general, but I won't. I could have portrayed you as the soy jack just then.
Terrible. Terrible.
Drinking the pool water. Nasty. Band-aids floating in it. Bugs. Oh, yeah, let's drink the pool water. Hey, you're
Mr. Zero says use some shock. It'll be fine.
just put more chemicals, like I said.
Yeah, that pool water is definitely for fishing.
Hunter's at home seething right now.
Rural 2, I see. Amen. Amen. Any kind of open top. I prefer running water, Livingston man. If I have to source water, I would prefer it be from a stream or something that's, far away from a farm. Yeah.
I found this cool place for running water. Like, it had these weird, like these cylinders, and they were giving off steam.
Right.
There was all this water, like, pouring. It was like a power plant of some kind, but there was all this water pouring out. And I was just filling up, man. It was good. It's the non-radioactive water that bothers me. I don't trust that non-radioactive water.
Stray kitten. Yeah, folks say that you can, if you got a pool, you got 5,000 gallons of water there. I am much more about running water, a stream, a creek, anything.
Easiest choice.
With the Grail, I'm not too concerned, especially, just me on the go. If I'm looking to source water for a lot of people, I want a large gravity system. 5-gallon buckets. Oh, when you fall asleep here.
No, Parker, there's some comments made me almost lose it. So what Dana Let's Prep, I would gladly, easily, like instantly drink my own piss before I drink from the Hudson River.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a pair of black boots, and there was this popular spot just off the where the Rojan meets the Hudson.
Oh.
We'd all go. Jackson knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I waited. It was low tide, and I waited out there. Boots were in the silt.
Yeah.
When they dried out, it had leached all the black dye out of my boots. It turned them brown again.
Oh.
We don't drink the Hudson River water. Don't.
No. They.
I don't get my water from recycled sewer water. That's that shit that Hunter peddles. He peddles recycled shit water and acts like it's pure. I'm just like, how about I get it from the dehumidifier? He's like, you don't want that. You want my recycled shit water, don't you? Nope. Here in the good old-fashioned town of Livingston, we don't have a reclamation plant. We get it right from the ground itself.
James Carroll says the Bison hand pump is mechanical, allows you to pump up hundreds of feet. Also, Lehman sells a type of cylinder bucket that will lower into a well and manually haul water up. James Carroll, that's kind of what we were talking about with the well bucket.
Kia Chris knows people that swim in Hudson. Yeah, and look at them. Case rested.
It's rough, man. It's rough. The Hudson ain't what it used to be.
No, these guys go out there, you catch the stripe bat, don't eat them. Don't eat them. No.
They're from the ocean.
Yeah, don't eat them. The DEC would strongly recommend you don't eat that mercury-infested bullshit.
Winning streak. What's good, sister? Good to see you.
Hudson River is not for drinking.
It ain't safe.
It's not for drinking.
Safe.
City of Troy just pumping that sewage out like,
yes. I got to be honest with you. I think I told you this before. I get the notifications every time they discharge something. My email is
shit.
Every time it rains, my email is just destroyed. I just got to go in and delete everything, good, bad, and indifferent. That was the stupidest. I got to unsubscribe from that because it's freaking terrible, man. Terrible.
Hey, they're dumping fecal matter in your main water source again.
All the time.
So you know.
All the time. Well, sometimes it's treated. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they hit it with chemical disinfectant before they dump it into the river. Sometimes they don't.
Yardbirds, I'm trying to imagine what balls flavored dehumidified bottled water would taste like, but I bet it's divine.
Blech.
Yeah, when it's all you got.
Blech.
We'll see how tough everybody is. Hey man, you got a drink? I got this balls water. What's up? Came out the dehumidifier. Why were your balls in the dehumidifier? Don't question my life. Okay, let me live, bro.
Good Lord. We're off the rails.
He's right. Mr. Zero is right. And it was all back when they busted GE for dumping the shit. And then like what I said, that's the true story. That the muck, the silt in the bottom of the Hudson, sucked the dye out of my boots.
That's nasty.
When you start stirring it up, I swear they made it worse.
Yeah, not a good scene. Vision preparedness. Please drive safe, my brother. No need to do nothing. If you're listening, we appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.
I burned up like an hour talking about this geek ass water purification dehumidifier shit.
Yeah.
Kevlar's, and you know what? Kevlar's gonna try it. He's gonna put it to bed.
Hey, he's gonna build it.
The motherfucker already looks like somebody that lived on humidifier water his whole life, so he's got it.
Oh, winning streak. I hope you find something cool to metal detector. The Wisconsin River. Right on with the boy Jackie. Get her done.
I'm going to leave, if we're even going to leave him, but I'm going to leave you with Kevlar's idea of dehumidifier water is gold. And I'm
telling you, these things already exist
we need
somewhere.
Proof of concept. And when he's going to produce proof of concept, and we're going to move forward with this because I think
in Florida it's a gold mine. For sure.
Well, because if I may, y'all be doing like first world shit with your little solar generator. You plug in microwaves and dishwashers, and this man is proposing sucking water out of the air. No, not a practical
Kevlar,
use.
that's
We're
right.
not
They do, but not for everyday people. Yeah, they're huge. I think the units that they make are like the size of a vending machine. They're big.
We're cutting it right down. When you put it in the window, route that hose.
Portable.
Way I've ever seen humidifiers hooked up, they use the auxiliary hose output, and they put it in a P trap.
Winning streak caught a Corona with a lime. Score.
Windlass. Nobody knows what that means.
The windlass. That's the old stick that you wrap things around, right? Stick.
So apparently, let's reiterate here. So zero tolerance apparently is that we have zero tolerance for dehydration here. All right, this has turned into a whole big, all about the water thing.
It's all about the water.
Zero tolerance. Okay, hydrate or die. All right.
That's right. That's a big one. Gotta
If you don't, we'll get back to shelter on the next episode.
That's right.
Where if you don't have a tent over your head, you're gonna freeze to death and die before your humidifier is done making the water for you. So
amen. Catch us next. We all gonna die Wednesday, and we'll make it all about shelter. Why the hell not, Livingston, man? That's right.
I meant everything I said. If you're offended, good.
What a guy. Thank y'all so much for being here. We really appreciate you. Hudson Valley Prepping Survival. Out of here.